Hey, what is going on, gamers? It's Doctor Redstone signing in to another episode in the channel. In today's episode, we do have Beware Kagmags. Now, this is a tribute to Kerstin. We had the, I'm not sure exactly how this gets set up, but the top raid player from the one before, they get the armor named after them, and this was the one that is named. Rest in peace to Kerstin. One thing that we're going to be going over is the top 10 guilds. You guys can see right there. Those are the ones that get the armors. And we also will be going over the top 5 raid players, and that's going to be going over each and every single server. So big shout out to you guys if you guys went ahead and grabbed this armor. You guys know for a fact that it's going to do really well when it comes to the next raid boss that's going to be coming up as fire and water. So without further ado, cue that intro and let's get into it. Bah! One thing that I do feel that it is important that we start before we get into the results on top guilds and top raid players is going ahead and going over the armor. Now this is the stats that we have right here. We have the standard version, the plus version, and again, another big shout out to Blend for making sure these things are possible. With that being said, I do believe that Luke, big shout out to Dr. Lucas Who, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, make sure and do so, was #1 guild in the last episode that we had. So I think that we should start out on his server. The server that they ran on was Android Global, so we will start there. So here we go, we have Android Global. These are the top 5 guilds right here. So you guys know the top 5 guilds went ahead and got the plus version, and then the bottom 5 went ahead and got the standard version. So another big shout out to each and every single one of those guys. Also, let me know where you guys finished, if you guys were able to go ahead and get this raid armor, and also where you finished in the raid results. Jumping on over here to the top raid players on Android Global, we have Troeslies. Somebody, how do you pronounce that? Let me know down in the comment section below. We have his tribute. Looks like he did hit 2.1 billion points, which is completely outrageous. A big shout out to each and every single one of these guys finishing in the top 5 on Android Global. Now jumping on over here to some familiar guilds that you guys have seen here on the channel. This is the Android EU server. We have In Memory of Kerstin. Big shout out to each and every single one of those guys that were running in that guild to help solidify the memorial, the essence, the aura of who she is. And another big shout out to you guys. We do have Chaos Puppies, Natural Disasters, and Polska. Want to give a big shout out to you guys as well, finishing in the top 5. In the remaining top 10, we do have Met by Moonlight, League by Shadows, and White Wolves. Big shout out to each and every single one of you guys for went ahead and grabbing that armor. Again, it's going to do really good when it comes to raid. Now we do have the top 5 raid players. Now these are the top raiders over here on the Android EU server, and we have Liski sitting in there with the #1 spot at 2.1 billion as well. Alrighty, and ending off with the Android EU, we're going to now be jumping over here to the iOS European account. You guys can see this one there. Barbarians, there they are. I was kind of surprised actually that I did not see them the last time. Big shout out to each and every single one of those guys. We do have a lot of subscribers and a lot of friends over there in the Barbarian Nation. We do have these guys over here finish out the top 10. I want to give a big shout out to Death Squad and Elite Heroes. And over here, now the top 5 raiders when it comes to the iOS European account is a familiar names. I want to give a big shout out to Hads, sitting there with 1.6 billion points. Big shout out to you, man. Long time no see. Now jumping on over here, last but not least, you guys can see as the Untouchables are sitting at #1. You guys probably could have guessed it with the streak continues. Taking that #1 spot. This is the iOS global server. And I also want to give a big shout out to the Dark Embassy. Finishing up with the top 10 over here on the iOS Global. We've got each and every single one of these guys. I don't know if I've seen way up north. That one is probably in relations to the Toronto Raptors getting their very first championships in the NBA Finals. Last but not least, we do have the top 5 Raiders coming down from the iOS Global server, and we have Puce. Big shout out to you. I actually know exactly who this one is, so good job. And I guarantee you that was a lot of hitting and a lot of attacks. That probably took some serious time. She probably went through an attack from start, probably all the way to finish. So big shout out to you. Wow, I gotta say, that was some really good runs from each and every single one of the guilds that were out there, and also a lot of hitting from every single one of those Raiders. Big shout out to you guys in each and every single one of the servers, and the Kerstin's tribute will definitely always be solidified, at least here on the channel, and definitely rest in peace. One thing I do want to mention is each and every single one of those top Raiders, to be able to get that many points, you seriously have to be attacking virtually from start to finish. Now, one thing that I do know is some people do use relief hitters. And I want to ask you guys right now down in the comment section below, let me know what you guys think. Is relief hitting for somebody, is that something that should be allowed, shouldn't be allowed? I'm not sure. I know that that's something that I don't personally use. I've used it before. I definitely used it before with people that I know and trust. Being that this is exactly what we have for YouTube, I don't know if I really want to trust my account in the hands of somebody that I don't personally know. Let me know if you guys use them before, if you guys think that should be part of the system that we have in place now, or if that's something that you guys exactly frown upon. Also, let me know where you guys ran in this last weekend's raid. Definitely excited to see where you guys finished. And big shout out to you guys, everyone that commented down in the comment sections below. Definitely gonna have to find a good way to give each one of you guys a personal shout out. So maybe I'll think of some different ways to make sure and do so. Without further ado, that is gonna be everything from me. If you guys enjoy it, please make sure to smash that like button. Definitely helps me out more than you know. If you guys have any questions or suggestions for future videos, make sure and put those down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe before you go. This is Dr. Redstone signing out. Thanks, YouTube. Peace.